Hello everyone, my name's Dean and let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is January 10th, 2025, and it's been more than 24 hours since my last video, and Bitcoin is not at 99K, okay? And that surprised me. Okay, that surprised me. I'm going to tell you why that surprised me. I'm going to tell you why it's very likely that we're still targeting 99K for Bitcoin. And I'm going to tell you what I think about this and what I think about altcoins. So if all that interests you, then watch until the very end. Hope everyone's having a great day. Let's get into it. So Bitcoin, like I said, has not hit 99K yet. And that puzzled me. It really did. I was like, whoa, what is going on? I was looking at this, obviously, I'm trading this, and I thought about it, and it hit me. This can't be a wave 2, okay? I know it seems confusing, because this looks like an impulse, a pure impulse, right? Wave 1, wave 2, A, B, C, between the 0.5 and the 618 of wave 1. Simple enough, right? Wave 1 takes a certain amount of time. Wave 2 should take the same amount of time. Unless you're not dealing with the wave 2. You're dealing with an A wave and a B wave of a zigzag. I hear you already. Dean, what are you talking about? Zigzag? You mean the zigzag that we just came out of? Or the zigzag that you were talking about, the big one? A wave, B wave, C wave, not that zigzag, but another zigzag. And I've seen this before. Bitcoin has done this to me before. Okay? I've seen this before and I've been tricked by it before, but not this time, not today. I'm recognizing this as a B wave. Why? Well, it goes back to what I said yesterday. And I've said this in previous videos. Typically in a wave 1, wave 2 situation, the time it takes for wave 1 is approximately the same time it takes for wave 2. That's a great way to identify a wave 1, wave 2 situation. When there's too much discrepancy in terms of the time between wave 1 and wave 2, it's unlikely it's a wave 1, wave 2 situation. It's likely, though, that you are seeing indeed an impulse there, but it's a corrective impulse. And so if this is a corrective impulse, then this makes this a wave A, and this would then be a B wave. I know a B wave when I see one. What is a B wave? A B wave is a counter correction. So this is a correction, this is a counter correction. So it's a correction in the opposite direction, right? A B wave of a zigzag is a counter correction that matriculates between the 0.5 and the 618 of the A wave. So this is why I still expect us to go to 99K. But there is no time component here. The time component is out the window. Because look, it took us 1 day and about 16, 17 hours to make that A wave, right? Thus far, as I read it, it's taken us 2 days and 6 hours in the B wave. Again, it doesn't have to be exact to the minute. But when the time discrepancy, in my experience, when the time discrepancy is too great, it's unlikely you're dealing with an A wave, B wave, or a wave 1, wave 2. So how is this Dean, it doesn't make sense. How is this an A wave, B wave? Because I thought you're dealing with the zigzag A, B, C, and the C wave is purely impulsive. Yes. But that C wave can be comprised of a zigzag. I've seen it before. And you can backtest this. I'm not going to waste time in the video by showing you where I've seen it before in Bitcoin's price history. But I've seen it before and I've made mental notes of it. Like, don't be confused. That's a thing that is possible. So this is what I'm seeing. We're still dealing with a larger high time frame zigzag from the 108. Okay, and that B wave was indeed a B wave. It acted like a B wave. It walked and, quacked like a B wave. It was a B wave. Got hit by our 40-day resistance, 47-day resistance. I forget how long it was. but the bottom of this channel. And so what I think we're seeing here is A, B, C. Now, why is this important and why is this relevant? It's not just to be pedantic and to be, oh, this is not a wave 1, wave 2, it's an A wave, B wave, like no. We're being super practical here. If this is indeed an A wave, B wave situation, here's what you most likely will see. And now let's zoom out. Sorry if you hear some music in the background. My son's just really loud. He likes his music really loud. Okay. You're more likely than not dealing with zigzag in a larger zigzag. And Bitcoin has done this to me before. I've seen it. You can't fool me twice. So if this is an A wave, B wave, C wave, what you're likely to see is once we get to this midline or the next logical support, which I think is this midline of this multi-year channel, right? You're likely to see Bitcoin do something like this, all the way back to the base of this price action right here. Retest it. Okay, so again, I had this go up a little much, but I think you understand what I'm saying. You're retesting previous support as new resistance. That is something keep in the back of your mind. Don't be surprised if you see that. Once we hit 75K thereabouts, we go up in 3 waves and then we puke. So Bitcoin likes to be tricky. You can get one part of the whole equation and still lose trades because it goes in a way that you didn't expect. Bitcoin does a lot of this unexpected stuff. So again, follow me here. The evidence suggests, given that we have yet to hit 99K and there's too much of a time discrepancy between this wave and all this price action right here, we're still going to 99K with a high degree of probability, right? And I can show you that really quickly. If you look on the smaller time frames, it's quite obvious. I mean, you formed, there's a few things I can say here, but let me start with, let me stay on topic. Look at all this. You did all this. You created a downwards trending resistance. You broke it with 11 straight, I think 11 or 12 straight hourly candles, but you see, look at this bullshit. It's all concerted, chop. There's nothing bullish about that. That's so corrective. It's like it's going up despite itself. It's like it doesn't want to go up. It's just like, do I have to? I'll talk more about this in just a second because it's relevant. Pay attention to it. I was actually really interested in this. Okay, so we went up, we broke that resistance, and we retested it. Then we pop out. If you look at all of this, what do you see? Bullish reversal pattern, inverse head and shoulders, with a target, which is approximately the height of that, superimposed from the side of breakout, gives you our 99K target. Okay, there's a lot of confluence to suggest that 99K is still our target to the upside, right? So this is happening. It's just a question of when. Is it going to happen during the weekend? Is it going to happen after traditional markets open again? I don't know, but it's very likely happening. Okay. Now, when we look at all of this, when is this going to happen? Well, after this. That's the only thing I can say for now. It's really hard to say. I would venture to suggest, if I had to take a wild guess, right, my best guess, I don't know, but my best guess is sometime over the weekend, we do find a way to get up to this area, 99K. And then pre-market Sunday, we start hanging out here. And then Sunday into Monday, that is a dump. And that's our first dump. And then don't be surprised to get this. And then that's the big move right there. Now, I promised you I would talk about this right here. This is really interesting, and I don't know how many people really see this and find it interesting. So there's a thing in markets where you'll see fractals, meaning the price action on a certain time frame replicates itself on a larger time frame, or a larger time frame fractal replicates itself on a smaller time frame. You've seen this before. This, when I saw this, I was like, oh my god, Bitcoin's doing what it did for the past 2 years. That's basically what Bitcoin's been doing for the past 2 years. And this is what we can expect. So when I talk about we're not yet in a bull market, okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is what we've been dealing with. And people are saying we've been in the bull market for the past 2 years. That's not bullish. That's not a bull market. That is a corrective uptrend, okay? And what comes after is a retest of this. And then you get more bullish price action, but actual, more likely than not bullish price action. So that's what I'm seeing here. And let me show you that. Let me show you that on a higher time frame. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm not going to go too deep into this. But just look at it for yourselves. The past 2 years, people say we've been in a bull market. No, we've been in an up and to the right trend in Bitcoin. But this up and to the right price action does not a bull market make. This is the same shit that you saw 12 consecutive green hourly candles. That's what Bitcoin's been doing since late 2022. Late 2022. It's not a bull market, but it's bullish. Okay? And then, more specifically, you can also look at this as the same type, okay? And then what the subsequent price action that is likely to retrace this. So let's go back on the hourly. Look. You went up. It's kind of like stair-stepping, like a roller coaster getting to the apogee, getting to the top of the ride. And then, boom, you come down. And look how you come down. Boom, boom. Right? Do you see that? You come down 1, 2, 3 in a section. This is kind of a flat, but you don't come down in one fell swoop. So I would not be surprised if Bitcoin did the same thing, but on a higher time frame. Boom, boom, boom. A lot of people are going to get confused by that. And then once you get here, on a daily time frame, it'll just look like one wick. But on a smaller time frame, do expect some quick consolidations, the likes of which we saw there. Okay? So the day it happens, do expect those consolidations. Although on a daily time frame, it's just going to look like one big wick, bullish hammer candle. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing with Bitcoin. I spent all day just looking and thinking, and I'm like, well, what is going on? I'm not sure. And sometimes if I'm not posting, let's say I'm posting regularly, I'm like, oh, I get it. And part of what makes this work interesting, part of why I love this price analysis, charting and stuff like that, is it always keeps you on your feet. It's a constant puzzle, and it fooled me. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, it clicked, right? And that's my best guess. So we'll see what comes. Now, altcoins. I'm looking at this Bitcoin dominance chart, and it's just like I said. It looks like it's putting in some sort of distribution, right? It looks like it's putting in some distribution. You've got a clear resistance at this point. You've got 3 pivots, right? It looks like you've got your requisite corrective patterns to put in a distributive channel. and that looks like it's coming down. My stochastic RSI is all the way on the top on the 4-hourly time frame. About it's overbought, as it were. It's an indicator, but you know what I mean. Looks like it's coming down. If this comes down, and it has to come down at some point, altcoins fulfill their promise of starting to beat Bitcoin. Up until now, it's been Bitcoin beating out altcoins in market cap. Bitcoin's gaining against altcoins in market cap, but at some point it's got to flip, and it looks like it's going to be some point soon. I think when you're looking at, again, certain assets like DYDX, I keep using DYDX as an example, while Bitcoin heads to 99K, more likely than not this weekend, you see these altcoins starting to make their run. Okay, for instance, DYDX, since we're on the topic. The next logical resistance for DYDX is up here at the top of this this structure right here. Yeah, so I mean, from where we're at, that would be a 70 some odd % move. Now, I'm not saying that that's it. It may be, or it may be that we do this in DYDX, something like this. Sorry, what am I doing? Something like this, and then do the correction, and then keep going. I don't know, but I feel like a high degree of probability of putting at least in that 70% move in DYDX as Bitcoin goes to 99K. So that's what I'm seeing in altcoins. It has to happen at some point. The promise of altcoins beating Bitcoin out in market cap, Bitcoin dominance coming down, and altcoins really proving their worth as smaller market cap moves of the wealth creation vehicles in cryptocurrency. That has to play out at some point in time. And weekends, we've seen it, are a time when you can see big pumps in the altcoin space because they don't depend necessarily on the liquidity of the US dollar currency index. When Bitcoin dominance is coming down, if Bitcoin is stalling or something like that, they just run. I've seen it. I remember Ethereum hitting 3,000 for the first time on a weekend. I remember it clear as day. That is a memory that is singed into my mind. So I know we can have serious moves on the weekend. And I remember that pump because it was literally pumping. People don't understand when we talk about pumping, we haven't seen pumping in years. Pumping where the candle literally is so strong and it's going so fast that you have to adjust your chart because it's going so fast and you can't catch it. You can't make an entry. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was useful. Like, share, and subscribe. If you got value, consider tipping me by Venmo, by Cash App, sending me Litecoin, or subscribing to my Buy Me a Coffee, right? You can also consider my crypto portfolio consultation service, one-on-one for 1 to 2 hours with me every month. I help you find altcoins that'll actually pump in the bull market. People don't understand, and I talked about this on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter if you want to. I shit post, but sometimes I do some serious analysis or say serious things about crypto. There's one thing I'm not going to show you. I'm just going to talk to you about it. People like to say 99% of altcoins won't make it. They're dead projects. Somebody said that. I'm like, I'm just so tired of hearing this. But like, why are you saying, like, everybody just says the same thing? It doesn't make any sense. Here's the deal. Bitcoin's only 14 years old. Most altcoins, I think, are only 4 to 8 years old. I mean, something like that, right? But there's a lot of altcoins that are like a few months old. There's some altcoins that are maybe 9 years old, right? But most altcoins, right, of the tens of thousands of altcoins in cryptocurrency, they're only 4 to 8 years old. Why is that significant? Well, when you talk about dead coins, when people talk about dead coins, what does that mean? What do they mean by that? Oh, they haven't seen positive price action in them, so they're dead. That is so silly. That doesn't make any sense. No. You have to undergo a cycle of accumulation before putting in sustainable growth. Any serious project that has moved seriously, right, has put in a whole cycle of consolidation. XRP, Litecoin, the list goes on and on. There's so many. Cardano, like, you need bear markets for proper bull markets. That's part of what I do in the crypto portfolio consultation. People think that anything that, just came out or that some YouTuber's talking about is going to pump to Valhalla, and then they're putting their money in it. They are going to be sorely mistaken, because not everything, and actually a lot of things, are not going to go. And actually the serious ones, if they're serious enough and they don't rug, right, somebody doesn't pull out all the liquidity, they're just going to go sideways for 4 years. And that's actually a sign of a healthy project. That's consolidating buyers, accumulating buyers, working, not necessarily positive price action. Positive price action is not something, it's not a measure of health of a project. People conflate those two things. Yes, at some point in time, a healthy project does appreciate in value, but a healthy project also goes sideways for a while. That's also very healthy. So what I help do in the crypto portfolio consultation is, okay, based on the chart, where can we see those 100x, 200, 300, 400x's in a serious project? Even though it's a serious project, I'm going to help you avoid those assets that may be taking their time and they're taking the bull market off, as it were. I hope that makes sense. It's hard to tell if you can't read it on the chart. All right, so that's all I'll say about that, guys. Hope this was helpful, useful. Like, share, and subscribe, like I said. And I may see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to sign up for KCEX. KCEX, that's the partner of this channel. It's free money that they're giving out. I mean, if you trade or if you want to try your hand at trading, just sign up and take the free bonus money and play with it. So that's all I'll say. The link to all of that is in the description below, or it's in the pinned comment below. All right, that's it. I promise. Bye.